Liverpool rocked by shock twists on and off the pitch. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now for instant Reds updates, exclusives and breaking alerts. Not just Sandro Tonali, Liverpool in informal contacts to sign another 95 minutes. Frightening. Newcastle star Liverpool are planning a double raid on Newcastle United, with a report revealing the name of the St James Park star. That manager Arne Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes are planning to bring to Anfield, along with Sandro Tonali. On February 8th, Team Talks transfer insider Graham Bailey reported Liverpool's interest in signing Tonali from Newcastle in the summer of 2026. Sources have told us that the defending Premier League champions have already made contact with Tonali's camp over a move to Anfield. It has now emerged that Tonali is not the only Newcastle star that Liverpool are keen on, with the Reds also taking a shine to Anthony Gordon. According to Court Offside, Liverpool are the early frontrunners for Gordon, with Arsenal and Manchester City keen on the former Everton winger too. The reporters claimed that Newcastle, who had to sell Alexander Isak to Liverpool in the summer of 2025, could demand as much as $95,109.2 meters for Gordon. The 24-year-old England international winger has been on the books of Newcastle since January 2023, when he joined from Everton. Gordon has found the back of the net 32 times and has given 28 assists in 140 appearances for Newcastle so far in his career. The Newcastle star is one of the best left wingers in the Premier League, with former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher noting on Blood Red Liverpool FC in August 2024 that his pace is frightening. A source told the news outlet, "Liverpool's interest is strong. They've admired him for some time and there may already have been some informal contacts to assess the possibility of a move." The problem is, Newcastle will do everything they can to make life difficult for Liverpool again, as they did with Alexander Isak. I don't expect they'd even consider entering into talks unless they can receive something in the region of 85 millimeters, possibly even as high as 95 millimeters. Liverpool were close to Anthony Gordon deal in 2024. Although Gordon came through the Everton Academy and starred for the first team, he is known to be a Liverpool fan. Liverpool were close to getting a deal done for Gordon back in the summer of 2024, with Jarell Quansah on his way to Newcastle as part of the transaction. Newcastle had PSR issues at the time and were close to selling Gordon to Liverpool. However, the Magpies eventually offloaded Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minte and kept Gordon. Gordon publicly addressed the situation and subsequently said, "I had the transfer stuff. With PSR, I thought I was going to leave at some point in the window. It didn't happen. I had to get my head around that to begin with, and then to get my head around it again was hard." Team Talks transfer correspondent Fraser Fletcher reported on June 4, 2025, that Liverpool were keen on signing Gordon in the summer of 2025. The Reds were on the hunt for a winger at the time to replace Luis Diaz, who eventually ended up at Bayern Munich. Sources told us at the time that Gordon himself was open to leaving Newcastle for Liverpool. Latest Liverpool transfer news: defender price drop. Mo Salah latest. Meanwhile, Liverpool have been made aware of the price drop to sign one of the Bundesliga's best defenders. Sources have told our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, about the chances of Mohamed Salah leaving Liverpool for the Saudi Pro League in the summer of 2026. And finally, the chances of Leeds United signing Harvey Elliott in the summer of 2026 have been rated, as the winger continues to struggle on loan at Aston Villa. Man Utd increased bid for elite LaLiga star Liverpool fear. Report Manchester United have improved their proposal for Atletico Madrid ace Marcos Llorente, with reports detailing the money on offer and the factors which could aid the transfer. Llorente came through the Real Madrid Academy and went on to make 39 senior appearances for Los Blancos, scoring twice. He had a loan spell at Alaves in the 2016-17 campaign before securing a controversial $30 million transfer to Atletico Madrid in July 2019. The right-back, who can also operate in central midfield or as a right midfielder, has registered 35 goals and 41 assists in 280 matches for Atleti. He was one of Atleti's best performers when they won LaLiga in 2020-2021, managing 23 goal contributions from midfield. Reports in the Spanish press claimed on January 12 that Man Ut had made a formal bid worth 35 million, 30 meters, 41.5 for Llorente. As per an update from speculative outlet Fichajes, United are set to return with an improved offer of 40 meters, 35 meters, 47.5. The Red Devils have supposedly set their sights on Llorente, believing his versatility can help bolster numerous positions in their squad. Man United are also seeking leadership, which the 31-year-old can provide thanks to his vast experience in La Liga and the Champions League. The report explains how Llorente's contract situation might give United a better chance of bringing him to Old Trafford. His current terms expire in June 2027, which means Atleti must decide whether to cash in or start talks over an extension. Llorente has only ever played in Spain before, so moving to an illustrious Premier League club such as United could be an enticing new adventure for him. Liverpool would not want to see Llorente arrive in England. Incredibly, of his 8 Champions League goals, 4 have come against Liverpool. The Spain star netted 2 late goals to help Atleti complete a dramatic comeback win at Anfield in March 2020. He bagged another brace when Atleti visited Anfield earlier this season, though Liverpool did run out 3-2 winners this time around. United fans would be delighted to see Llorente star against Liverpool if he made the move. Although Fichajes is not one of Spain's most reliable transfer news outlets, so we must wait for sources in England to confirm or deny such interest. Man Ut News, City raid, midfielder discount. Meanwhile, reports claim United have begun talks to sign a Manchester City defender. Sporting CP midfielder Morten Hjulmand remains on United's radar even after the departure of Ruben Amorim. He can now be signed at 30 minutes discount, according to the latest from the Portuguese press. Mo Salah. Liverpool exit increasingly expected as Saudi Pro League deep in discussions over early summer transfer. The Saudi Pro League are ready to push ahead with plans to finalise a blockbuster summer deal for Mohamed Salah. Team Talk has been informed. As previously revealed by Team Talk, a contract framework is already in place for the Liverpool superstar, a package comparable to the extraordinary terms handed to Cristiano Ronaldo, including future club ownership opportunities and a long-term agreement for Salah to serve as a Saudi Arabia tourism ambassador. Sources have explained that league officials are now deep in discussions with the country's top clubs over Salah's likely landing spot. Al Ittihad have long been viewed as the frontrunners, but Al Nassr are firmly in the mix, particularly with uncertainty surrounding Ronaldo's future. Should the Portuguese icon depart this summer, the Pro League hierarchy sees Salah as the natural successor to become the face of football in the Middle East. Ronaldo's situation has, in fact, elevated the urgency of Saudi's pursuit. Senior figures believe Salah represents the ideal long-term figurehead, a global superstar, a cultural icon in the region, and a player whose commercial impact would be seismic. Team Talk also understands that the Pro League want the Salah deal done early in the window, with sources stressing they do not want this to become a protracted saga that drags into late summer. Salah has just 18 months remaining on his Liverpool contract, and this season has been far from straightforward. While he is now back in the fold, his public fallout ahead of AFCON, which at one stage saw him temporarily removed from first-team activities, has not gone unnoticed by Saudi decision-makers monitoring the situation closely. Liverpool continue to insist publicly that Salah remains a key part of their project. Privately, however, Team Talk understands that a summer exit is increasingly expected, with several sources indicating that the club are preparing for life without their talisman. Recruitment staff at Anfield are already working through potential replacements, though they maintain this is simply standard planning ahead of any transfer window. Even so, the sense behind the scenes is that the club are bracing themselves for a defining moment and Saudi Arabia are ready to strike. Liverpool transfer news, Prem forward watched. Slot speaks on Konate 1 forward. Liverpool have taken a look at, in recent weeks, is Bournemouth's rising star, Eli Junior Krupi. Intermediaries have also spoken with Liverpool about a route back into the Premier League for AC Milan's Christian Pulisic. Liverpool are not the front-runners for the former Chelsea forward, though. In other news, Arne Slot has made his feelings clear about Ibrahima Konate's future ahead of his contract expiring in the summer. Ibrahima Konate Liverpool contract update. As Arne Slot drops 5-word tease, Ibrahima Konate has endured a mixed campaign in the Liverpool backline, and manager Arne Slot has offered an update about the Reds' central defender's future at Anfield. Liverpool remain in negotiations with Ibrahima Konate's representatives regarding a new deal, with Arne Slot confirming his desire for the defender to prolong his Anfield career, teasing, "Let's see where that ends." Konate, 26, is approaching the final months of a contract penned when he arrived at the club in 2021 from RB Leipzig. Liverpool have been in dialogue with the France international's agents for more than 12 months. Real Madrid have been touted as potential suitors to snap up the 26-year-old on a free transfer at the season's conclusion. However, reports towards the end of last year had claimed the LaLiga heavyweights had informed Reds officials they wouldn't be pursuing another prominent player from Anfield following their acquisition of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Konate has experienced a patchy campaign, but has appeared more assured lately. He delivered an accomplished performance to guide Liverpool to a crucial 1-0 triumph over Sunderland on Wednesday after excelling in a 4-1 victory against Newcastle United late last month, which marked his first outing after sitting out 3 fixtures following his father's death in France. Following the win over Sunderland, skipper Virgil van Dijk expressed his hope to see his defensive colleague remain beyond the current season. Not long after the Liverpool skipper's praise, Slot has made it clear he wants Konate to be within his squad next season. The Dutchman said, "We are in talks with him, so that tells you what we want. It's clear we would like him to stay, but negotiations are ongoing, so let's see where that ends. We wouldn't be in negotiations if we didn't want him to stay. It's just as good from Ibu as from Virgil to stay fit. I'm sure there is a difference in age, and that sometimes plays a part as well. Ibu has had a very good spell recently. He had a lot of good games earlier in the season, but then he was also part of the reason why we conceded a goal. His general performances were good, but then a small mistake he made immediately led to a goal, and so he was judged differently. But he has had a very good partnership with Virgil since I've been here, and just like Virgil, he has always been fit. Touch wood. These two are vital for us, not only because of the quality they have, but because of the lack of options we have behind. Meanwhile, Slot has played down worries about Mohamed Salah's goal-scoring form since his return from the Africa Cup of Nations last month. The Egyptian, who has managed just 6 goals all season, hasn't found the net in the Premier League since November 1st when Aston Villa were defeated 2-0. However, the Liverpool manager insists last season's 34-goal forward is always capable of hitting a purple patch. Slot added, "There could be multiple reasons for that. It could be the opponent is even more aware of his threat after such a great season last season, or having so many different right-backs behind him for the whole season has influenced that dynamic. I could come up with 5 or 6 more reasons. What I do see is that, in general, the team generates just as many chances as we did last season. The team has the most ball possession in the league. I also see us being able to bring our forwards, and not only Mo, into very promising positions in many games. So it will be a combination of factors. Even last season, Mo had a period where he scored 7 in 4 games, I think, and then 5 or 6 games where he didn't score. So let's see where he is at the end of the season when it comes to goals and assists. Liverpool news: Arne Slot singles out player with new Curtis Jones on verge of breakthrough. Liverpool are gearing up for an FA Cup clash with Brighton, as Arne Slot will be looking to advance in the Reds' quest for silverware this season. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has hinted that he could make several changes for the FA Cup clash with Brighton on Saturday, with one youngster giving him food for thought. The Anfield outfit will be training their full focus on the game, with Slot eager to make a mark in this year's tournament. The Reds were unceremoniously dumped out a year ago in a fourth-round giant killing by Plymouth Argyle. The FA Cup, alongside the Champions League, is now the club's last chance to claim silverware this season after they faltered in the Premier League title race and were knocked out of the League Cup. Speaking ahead of the Seagulls tie, Slot insisted that he is always looking at the younger players and that a few of them are closer and closer to first-team football. Mirror Football takes a look at the latest stories coming out of Anfield. Slot singles out Red Star. Slot has talked up the qualities of Dominik Szoboszlai. The Hungarian, 25, signed for the Reds from RB Leipzig in July 2023 for $60 million. Since his move, Szoboszlai has advanced from a solid first-team option to Liverpool's latest talisman. The midfielder has 9 goals and 7 assists so far this season, despite being deployed in several positions. Szoboszlai has also frequently deputised at right-back during the club's ongoing defensive injury crisis. Szoboszlai, I cannot stop talking about his qualities, close to ridiculous, Slot said in his press conference ahead of the Brighton clash. On and off the ball, work rate another level, the intensity he presses, unbelievable technique, game insight, offensive midfielder, right back, right winger, all these qualities in these positions. He has been vital for us this and last season. He will continue to be that for us. The Reds will now welcome back Szoboszlai for the FA Cup tie, after he missed the victory over Sunderland after picking up a red card in last weekend's Premier League loss to Manchester City. New Curtis Jones, on verge of breakthrough. Liverpool youngster Kieran Morrison has made waves at the club's academy by becoming the first Liverpool player to win a Premier League 2 Player of the Month award since Curtis Jones in 2020. The 19-year-old scooped the honour after he scored 5 goals and bagged an assist in January. The accolade is even more prestigious when you consider that no Liverpool player at all has won the gong since Jones received the prize 6 years ago. Morrison has already been involved in several of Slot's matchday squads this season and is expected to be in the squad again for the FA Cup game with Brighton. The club's under-21s coach, Jay Spearing, has also confirmed that Morrison has caught Slot's eye. For us as an academy, it was an unbelievable occasion to see him get the opportunity to be involved, Spearing said. In the nicest way, we want them to be around the first team, and then when they come back in the nicest way, don't want to be around us. They want to get back there as quickly as they can. We speak to the manager most days. We're in his office quite a lot. We speak to him probably 3 to 4 times a week in his office planning sessions. So if the manager says who is playing well, if you're playing well and training well, your name is going to get put in front of him and he will want to see clips. He'll want to see video, so that's what's happened to Kieran.